Well, it's Saturday the 14th of January. This is episode 2302 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. Back in episode 2339, I talked about the usefulness of the word cyberspace, a metaphor that helped people understand what the internet could be for. This episode is about what happens when the metaphors we use change, but mostly it's about Geocities. Ah yes, Geocities. Scrolling text and Starry Night background GIFs. I built my first website there, as I'm sure many of you of a certain age did too. But before the under construction signs, there was an ISP called Beverly Hills Internet. Founded by David Bonnet and John Resner in 1994, they provided modems and training to businesses to get online. They also built and hosted websites for customers too, and it was doing this that the company first cut their teeth understanding the fundamentals of web hosting. One of its founders, Bonnet, was also obsessed with webcams and their potential. Inspired by the Trojan Room coffee pot, the first ever webcam built at Cambridge University in 1993, Bonnet hand-built one as a hobby project, soldering a camcorder onto a video capture card and writing custom software to display an image updated every 8 seconds, live on the internet. BHI had a customer situated at the intersection of Hollywood and Vine in Los Angeles, and he put the device in their office window. It generated an enormous amount of traffic, so BHI began to build and serve more webcams. By mid-1995, web hosting had become a larger and larger part of the company's core business. As a way of justifying capex to investors, they decided to offer users 2 megabytes of free space to anyone who wished to build a homepage on the internet. With all the eyeballs on their webcams, they funneled people towards their new product, Geocities. Recall the metaphors that we once used to understand the early web: cyber, space, the global, village, and with Geocities, the city. Online communities that predate the World Wide Web use spatial metaphors too. MUDs, for example, are organised around a virtual dungeon with rooms, corridors, etc. And BBSs, or forums, think Roman forums, and message boards. These spatial metaphors help create a sense of place and community. To explain the spatial nature of Geocities, we must consider the anatomy of a Geocities URL. Port Lasaria, for example, was the destination for roleplay games about vampires and werewolves. Geocities founders thought that web addresses should be human readable, unlike lots of URLs today, I might add. So, like a street address, Port Lasaria was situated at 1062 Labyrinth, Area 51, Geocities, the World Wide Web, or www.geocities.com/area51/labyrinth/1062/. All of Geocities was organised around this concept of neighbourhoods and suburbs. Athens for history, Area 51 for sci-fi and fantasy, Hollywood for film, and Paris for romance, etc. From the beginning, Geocities users were known as homesteaders. I have a chapter further discussing frontier language and the internet in the Lost Zone anthology, link in the show notes. Homesteaders were encouraged to metaphorically claim one of the 9,999 plots in a suburb of a neighbourhood. Geocities founders thought that fostering a sense of place was important for the emerging web. Taking cues from pre-web technologies, the early web was strongly community-oriented. Each Geocities neighbourhood had its own forum, live chat, and even displayed lists of neighbourhood homesteaders celebrating their birthday each day. More importantly, active and prominent neighbourhood members were invited to become paid community admins. Then, Yahoo bought Geocities for $3.57 billion in 1999, at the height of the dot-com bubble. The first thing Yahoo did after the crash, of course, was to lay off all the paid community positions. Imagine how different the web would be today if community roles were an expected norm on all social websites. Anyways, after the bubble burst, the world no longer needed metaphors like cities or global villages. People understood what the web was. New metaphors came along: Web 2.0, the social web, and the big one, e-commerce. The internet was for making money. Yahoo presaged the web's wider metaphorical shift to the era that's currently ending with their decision to replace the street address system with vanity URLs in 1999. Derived from Yahoo IDs, this new URL or profile isolated individuals. They became users rather than members of a community. Chronic mismanagement followed, and Geocities became deeply unprofitable. Yahoo struggled to get users, content with a free service, to pay for it. See also Tumblr and Twitter today. Rupert Godwins, editor at ZNet, described Geocities as first proof that you could have something really popular and still not make any money at all on the internet. By 2005, Geocities was a ghost town. Homesteaders, tired of being treated like users, had found the metaphor of being someone's friend on MySpace far more appealing. In 2009, Yahoo unceremoniously killed the service.